Hello and a very warm welcome to all of you. Today I am going to take a very short session on a topic of science which is heredity and evolution. So the first topic is heredity. What is heredity? Heredity is basically a process in which characters or traits, or what I can say is features of an organisms are passed on from one generation to the another generation. For example, there are so many features in an organism which can be seen externally, and these features are known as the phenotype of an organism. So the traits which are visible, which are externally visible, which are the external features of an organism, or which we can see externally. As you can see, my hair color, my skin complexion, my height, my weight, all these are the external traits, external characters which we can observe externally. These are the phenotype. So all the traits, when all these traits are transferred from one generation to another generation, this process of transferring of these features, transferring of these traits from one generation to another generation is termed as heredity. Now the question comes that how is this process being done? Means what are the things that carry these features from one organism to another organism, from one generation to another generation? So here the answer is genes. Genes are the functional unit of heredity. Why are they known as the functional unit of heredity? Because they carry the characteristics or features along with them, and they transfer these characteristics or features from one generation to another generation. Actually, what happens that there are different types of genes. There are so many number of genes, and each gene can control one or more functions. It can control one characteristic, or it can control more than one characteristic also. For example, there is gene for the hair color, there is gene for the skin complexion. So similarly, there are different types of genes, and each gene can control only one function, or some genes can control more than one function, or several functions can be controlled by the genes. Now what happened that Gregor John Mendel, he experimented on the pea plants in his gardens, and what he found, he experimented and he gave us the different laws of inheritance. There are 3 laws of inheritance which he gave us. First one is the law of dominance. Second is law of segregation. Third is law of independent assortment. Independent assortment. So he gave us actually 3 laws of inheritance, and he experimented on pea plants to find out that what is the reason behind this heredity. What is the reason behind the concept of heredity? What is the reason behind passing of genes from one generation to another generation? Okay. Now there are some traits which are dominant in character, and there are some traits which are recessive in character. Now what do we mean by the dominant traits and recessive traits? Actually, the traits which express themselves, which show their effect in one generation, are known as the dominant trait. For example, here you can see this is actually a cross. This I will explain you later. So what happened that this is a pure tall tea plant. It is represented by capital T, capital T. Pure short pea plant represented by small t, small t. Now when there is a cross between a pure tall pea plant and a pure short tea plant, what are the results in the generation? This generation is known as F1 progeny, and what are the results? All plants are tall, all are tall. So the F1 progeny is tall. So we have crossed both the pure tall pea plants and pure short pea plants, but the resultants are only tall in character. So the trait which actually expressed in this cross is tall, that is pure tall tea plant, that is capital T. It only expressed in this generation. So what happens that there are traits which can express themselves. These are known as dominant traits, and the traits which are not able to express themselves, or they hide their expression in absence of the dominant traits. These are known as the recessive traits. For example, small t, short pea plant, it cannot express itself. Okay, so thank you very much. I hope you like my session. Thank you so much.